Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. And as you can see, we got quite a bit to go over today. Some quick stories because we're going to go ahead and travel over to Real Housewives of Orange County and get into a few things. One, we're going to talk about Shannon Beador's face lawsuit. Was it facial lawsuit? Yeah, one of those things. Also, she is saying she's not giving up on love, but she has zero desire to date. And TAMRA, she's going to be sharing some information in regards to her reconciling with Alexis. Never thought I'd see the day on that, but we'll see how long that lasts. But then lastly, she also shared about where she stands with her daughter, Sydney. So I think what you could do right now is just sit back and relax. I would love to know your thoughts as we're going through these stories. But let's get into the first one here. Give me just a second. We're going to pull that one up. And we are talking Miss Shannon Beador. Is it Shannon Beador Storms? Is it Shannon Storms Beador? I think it's that way. Okay, so according to Reality T, Shannon Beador's facelift lawsuit, that's what it was. I couldn't get it out, face or lift or what, it is what it is. Everything you need to know. Now, poor Shannon Beador hasn't had anything easy since her ex-husband, David Beador, admitted he was having an affair. The mother of three has tried her best to turn lemons into lemonade. However, she is a sour squirt in the eye. That's really unfortunate for Shannon. Most fans, including myself, thought she had found a good step up in John Jansen, but it turns out their relationship was never on solid ground. Then there was a shocking breakup during season 17, which left viewers puzzled. Shannon will fill us in on the sordid details when the upcoming season had premiered. And so if you had started watching Real Housewives of Orange County, it premiered last week. And so we got a little bit of a take of what was happening. I did actually do a recap and review on last week's episode as well. So you could take a look at that if you want after this video. So let's continue. All right. You know that Shannon and John are not in a good place. In fact, the businessman moved on with a younger former castmate, Alexis. Now that has to hurt, as it definitely did appear to seem like it probably did hurt her ego just a bit. I mean, my goodness. I mean, who would ever thought that John Jansen would come into the fold in any real way and then turn around and come back with a cast member? I mean, it's crazy. Now, on top of it all, the Bravo star can't seem to move on. So Shannon is now dealing with the lawsuit claiming she didn't pay John the money she had owed him. So what's the deal? Below is everything we need to know in this messy tale between Shannon and John's legal battle. Now, Shannon Beador's lawsuit. Now, news broke via People in April 2024 that John was suing Shannon for $75,000. Now, according to John, he lent his former girlfriend the money so she could undergo a facelift. The Orange County Superior Court documents stated that the series showed their relationship's ups and downs, but that producers falsely portrayed John as financially dependent on Shannon. The paperwork indicates that John had a successful business career, and it was Shannon who had turned to Mr. Jansen for financial support. John has claimed that Shannon was wired $40,000 on January 24th, 2022, and then $35,000 by a personal check on May 30th of 2023. Now, the documents also state that Shannon became offended when he had asked her to sign an IOU in the end. John had decided he would trust Shannon to pay him back. Seems like it was just really a messy situation altogether. Now, the Real Housewives of Orange County star released a statement sharing, "I am shocked and disappointed that John has filed a lawsuit. My attorney had been in constant communication with his counsel. I agreed to pay John what he wanted because I knew that attorney fees would surpass the amount sought, but more importantly, to eliminate the negative emotional components that came with the lawsuit. It is important that I continue to focus on the positive aspects of my life and move forward." Shannon further had noted that John declined the offer because he refused to sign a mutual non-disparagement agreement. "I was hoping that if I met his baseless demand, we could at least use this as an opportunity to bring complete closure to this chapter in my life." Now, the Shannon Bedore plot twist is that Shannon had often noticed she wanted to spend her future with John. The two were never meant to work out, but John had recently filed the new paperwork denying that he had never gave up or gave her the lump sum of money as a gift. In Touch had reported that John had filed an amendment to the suit claiming the $75,000 was not a gift to her. Shannon still claims she wasn't obligated to pay him back. The documents state defendant knew when she made her false promises and representations that defendant did not intend to pay for such services. Despite promising to repay both loans, defendant's subsequent actions have made it clear that defendant's promises were fabricated and that she never intended to follow through on her promises. For example, in an attempt to avoid her obligations to repay the loans, defendant now asserts that the loans were a gift from Mr. Jansen, which is completely false. John's lawyers had added, said actions were done with the intent to injure, vex, and annoy Mr. Jansen, or in conscious disregard of Mr. Jansen's rights and to the benefit defendant, and punitive damages should be awarded to Mr. Jansen against defendant in amounts to be set forth at the time of trial herein. John is also asking for punitive damages. My goodness. I can't help but wonder if, of course, the Bravo cameras will catch all of this and Shannon reaction for the new season. But I imagine if she did, she's going to be pretty upset. So we'll see how much of this we will see if it does enter in this current season. And of course, I would like to know your thoughts. What do you think about this facelift lawsuit? Do you think it was a gift or do you think that it was a loan? I kind of wonder about this because it does seem that their relationship was always pretty strained to me. That's just the kind of the feeling that I've got. I don't feel like there was a lot of happy moments. At least that's not what it seemed to be portrayed. So that being said, I'm thinking that, there might have been some miscommunication on this. And I think it would depend on the timing. So I'm a little bit on the fence on this one, of whether or not it maybe presented itself as a gift and then turned into a loan as time got on. And it appeared that they were not going to, continue on in a relationship. So I'm a little iffy on this right now, but I'd love to know your thoughts. So go ahead and drop those down in the comment section. Do you think that this was a gift, or do you think it was a loan, or do you think that it maybe started off as one thing and then ended up as something else? Either way, I think that Shannon needs to go ahead and make whatever situations, arrangements she needs to make to go ahead and get this paid and get this situation done and over with. I do, however, see why she did went for the disparagement IOU, so to speak, especially now that John is kind of pretty much hard launched himself into this season with Alexis Bellino. So let's go ahead and continue to the next story. I tell you, the messy boy. Now, according to people.com, Shannon Bedore has shared that she has not given up on love after John Jansen split, but has zero desire to date right now. Now, she basically says, I still have the dream to be a partnership with somebody, the Real Housewives of Orange County star tells People. Shannon Bedore isn't ready to give up on romance. In an exclusive interview with People, the Real Housewives of Orange County star 60 had opened up about her mindset on dating following her November 2022 split from John Jansen, 61. She says she hasn't started dating again yet, which she considers a sign of growth for her. I think because my entire life I'm a relationship type of girl and I want to be in a relationship and I have zero desire right now. So who would have thought, Bedore explains, of her current single status. But that doesn't mean she has sworn off relationships for good. She says, I haven't given up on love at all, she insists. I still have the dream to be a partnership with somebody. I just don't know and don't have the feeling or desire that I've really used to have. And so we'll see how that goes along. And it seems like she's had to learn some hard truths, especially starting with her ex-husband, who wasn't really, didn't seem like that was a great relationship either. Now, as for Jansen, people she dated, hold on, let's see. I think we're skipping a little bit of something here, aren't we? Oh, maybe not. Let's see. No, I am skipping something. Let's see. Yeah, we'll stay with this one. Looks like it was slideshow, and I like to show my pictures. All right. So as for Jansen, whom she dated for 3.5 years before he ended things, Bedore tells People, I do not miss the relationship at all. As I am able to look back and see so many parts of it, I am grateful that it did end. In fact, she says she wishes the pair had split sooner. I am frustrated that it lasted as long as it did. I feel as though I just wasted those years, she explains, but we were not meant to be together. In a shocking twist for viewers, of course, of the Bravo reality series, Jansen quickly moved on with RHOC's Alexis Bellino, who, after starring as a full-time cast member in seasons 5 through 8 of the show, has returned as a friend of the Housewives for this current season, season 18, leaving Bedore feeling a lack of closure on her own relationship with Jansen. She says, do I have closure? No, because he called me and said, you've ruined my life and my family's life by how public you are, and I'm a private person. Bedore recounts to People, but 6 weeks later, he started dating Alexis Bellino and now is doing red carpet interviews at Oscar parties. So that's completely contradictory to what he said, but we're done and it's what it is. Now, naturally, in the premiere episode of season 18 on Thursday, July 11, which was just last week, Bellino 47 had addressed her relationship with Jansen and whether she felt nervous about confronting Bedore. She had shared that here's the thing. Bellino said during a dinner with co-stars Heather Dubrow and Emily Simpson, I have no ill will. I just want to squash the elephant in the room. I'm just not going to play into Bedore's spiraling. Later at a party thrown by Dubrow 55, Bellino and Bedore had finally came face to face, and Bedore started the conversation by claiming that Bellino was involved in her ex-husband Jim Bellino's 2018 defamation lawsuit against her and TAMRA judge. I've been upset that you were involved in a lawsuit where your husband sued me as a single mom for 3 years, she explained. But for 3 years, I went through such emotional and financial difficulties. I lost $300,000 defending myself for something I didn't even do. And you started the lawsuit by sending a cease and desist letter. So in my eyes, you're part of it, Alexis Bedore continued. Alexis denied any involvement in the lawsuit and instead told Bedore that their issues were rooted not in the legal situation, but rather in her relationship with Jansen. I know this is uncomfortable for both of us. When you're the ex and I'm the new, Alexis said. None of it's the root of the problem, she continued, referring to the lawsuit. The root of the problem is you're mad that I have your boyfriend and you're not going to win that battle with him. You will not. After Bedore said she could dig up the original cease and desist letter to prove Alexis' involvement in the legal drama, Alexis again accused Bedore of being hung up on her romance with Jansen. I think that the real issue is where is that I have your ex-boyfriend, she said. That's what the real issue is. So guess what? Move on. We're moving forward in this relationship. And I guess Alexis had really just at that point put her foot down and she had spoken. You know, one thing about Alexis when she used to be on the show previously, she kind of would sit on the sidelines a bit, and she did go through it a lot with individuals such as TAMRA, which we'll be talking a little bit about here just shortly, in their reconciled relationship, which is really a kind of a shock to me, as well as it was to appear to be to her husband Eddie as well. But one thing about Alexis is she seems to now be ready to go. I said it before in my recap review. She's got a battery in her back, and she is just ready to go ahead and staunchly so not only support John Jansen, but really fight for him and fight the battles for him. So whether he'll show FaceTime on the show will be yet to be seen. But it makes no mistakes, Alexis is definitely rearing for whatever fight she needs to be in order to, I guess, share her interested situation as such as it is, and the love that she's got with John Jansen. So I would like to know your thoughts in regards to that. You know, how are you feeling about it? Do you think that Shannon's issue really is the relationship with Alexis and John, or do you think that it really does stem from the lawsuit that has now previously been closed and is no longer moving forward? It had been settled on both parts. I believe she had to pay $300,000 and TAMRA had to pay $500,000. So that case is closed. Or do you think it's just really kind of just one of those things, was a pile on and it was adding salt to the wound that was already established by her breakup with John? So I'd love to know your thoughts. Go ahead and leave those respectfully down in the comment section. As we move along to our next story, we are going to be talking about TAMRA Judge and her renewed relationship with Alexis Bellino, which is a bit shocker for, like I said, for many of us. Now, according to Bravo.com, TAMRA Judge recalls the moment her feelings toward Alexis Bellino had changed. TAMRA Judge is sharing more details about her unexpected friendship with Alexis Bellino. It's no secret that the two rarely saw eye to eye during Alexis's 4-season run of the Real Housewives of Orange County, as they engaged in multiple explosive fights that included a petty name calling, as well as allegations of betrayal and bullying. Any hope for reconciliation was seemingly squashed after season 8, which was presumably Alexis's Bravo swan song. But to the surprise of many, TAMRA and Alexis had managed to settle their differences this past year and are now closer than ever. And we will apparently get a deeper look at the unlikely friendship in this current ROC or RHOC, season, which saw Alexis return as a friend capacity. Now, TAMRA says that she and Alexis have become very close after BravoCon of 2023. TAMRA was asked about Alexis' comeback in a recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, which was published just hours before the season 18 premiere. Now, she says, if you were to ask me that 2 years ago, I would say, hell no, I don't want her back, TAMRA told the outlet, but I met her at BravoCon in 2023, and with Andy Cohen standing over us, we had a very deep conversation about the past and where she is today and regrets and things like that, and we became very close. Now, TAMRA does tease a completely different Alexis in RHOC season 18, which I think is what we are seeing a little bit of. TAMRA went on to say that Alexis has changed a lot over the past 10 years and will seem like a completely different person in this current season. She says that you're going to see an Alexis that is not being held back. That's what I said, that battery in the pack. One that's very vocal and one that's funny, quirky, and loud and sad, TAMRA said before touching on the OC mom's recent struggles with life changes. She was going through a lot, and this is what makes it so sad, is that she's getting beat up. But people don't know she had lost her mom recently. She had broken off an engagement, and she was going through a lot of stuff. I'm hoping that people aren't judging her just because she's dating John Jansen. Now, Alexis is thankful for her relationship with TAMRA. Alexis, like many Bravo fans, was also surprised by her friendship with TAMRA. She had touched on the subject in the RHOC season 18, episode 1, saying that, have we had our downside? Yes. Have we pretty much stomped all over each other? Yes. But I'm so thankful for our friendship now. A day after the season premiere, TAMRA had took to Instagram to defend Alexis' polarizing return, expecting viewers may warm up to her as the season progresses. Everybody is so quick to judge Alexis. It's sad, she wrote in a story. But as the season goes on, I think you'll see what I see. She has a huge heart and doesn't have a mean bone in her body, which honestly, from TAMRA, that is saying a lot. Now, Heather Dubrow says she's been calling for Alexis' RHOC return. OC wife Heather Dubrow echoed TAMRA, saying the controversy surrounding Alexis and John's relationship has been hard for everyone involved. She says, I've been campaigning for Alexis to come back for 2 years. I was really excited, Heather told THR. I know the whole thing with John Jansen is odd and difficult, and it's difficult for all of us figuring out how to navigate the whole thing. But I think apart from that, I really hope that the audience gets to see how much Alexis has evolved as a person since they last saw her, because she is different. She is strong, independent, and great. And that is the sharing of the budding friendship that is TAMRA and Alexis. Again, I was kind of shocked. I'm wondering what your thoughts are of that. There was always so much chaos and fire between the two of them since the moment she had stepped on the scene. She was not a fan, TAMRA, that of Alexis. So the fact that they were able to kind of bridge the mountain and kind of go through the forgiveness stage of the things that was said and done is quite astonishing to me. But I do appreciate the sensitivity that's been given to Alexis in regards to her mother passing. And again, we wish Alexis well in that continued recovering from that loss, because it's a major loss and it was a major loss for her. So definitely rest in peace to Alexis' mother. And I guess we will really get to see as time goes on. Season 1 really did kick off with the bang. So I am looking forward to many more toward stories telling in this season. So that being said, that takes us to our last sharing, and that is going to be on TAMRA as she was reconciling with Alexis. She also gives a bit of an update in regards to her daughter, Sydney. So let's get into that one. Now, according to page 6, TAMRA basically shares where she stands with her daughter Sydney after breaking down in tears over the estrangement in the RHOC premiere. TAMRA Judge has a positive update on her relationship with her estranged daughter Sydney. She's reaching out to her brother and sister now, so that's good news, she shares. The Real Housewives of Orange County star 56 says of her 24-year-old while chatting with Page Six's virtual reality TV podcast as season 18 kicks off. Judge, who also shares son Spencer, 23, and daughter Sophia, 18, with ex-husband Simon Barney, plus son Ryan, 38, with ex-husband Darren Veidt, adds, so we do have some progress. TAMRA Judge has a positive update on her relationship with estranged daughter Sydney, saying that she is also reaching out to, we've already covered that. Now, during the 2016 RHOC season 11 reunion, a visibly emotional Judge had told host Andy Cohen and her castmates that Sydney had chose Dad Barney's side after the couple's contentious divorce 5 years prior. She said that my oldest daughter Sydney had said, I don't want to live with you anymore. You've ruined my dad's life. And she said this at the time. She left that day and had not come back. Now, Sydney has yet to repair her fractured dynamic with Judge, but the latter seems hopeful that resolution is on the horizon. And in the meantime, the Bravo-celebrity is relishing in her eldest child's success from afar. The Bravo-celebrity shares Sydney and two other children with ex-husband Simon Barney. Basically, the vet also says that, who is now married to Eddie Judge, that she shares yeah, we've talked about that. She further says that she's doing amazing, and without crying, guys, that's all I can wish for as a mom. TAMRA goes on to say Sydney is very successful, and she is in the film industry as well as behind the camera. So she's doing amazing things with her life, and that's all I really can wish for, she says, although her ultimate desire would be for reconciliation. She says, I mean, I could wish for more, Judge emphasizes, but it's on God's hands, really. God's timing. The Vena CBD founder broke down in tears over the situation during Thursday's RHOC premiere. And she said that at the time, every time I see 111, I always have, which obviously is an angel number, I always make the same wish that maybe one day Sydney will come home, she told daughter Sophia before getting the angel number tattooed on her arm. She says, I know you don't want to talk about her, Judge acknowledged before Sophia agreed that she was not interested in discussing the issue, but still offered her mother a consoling embrace. In a confessional, the two Teas in a Pod co-hosts who wed Eddie Judge in 2013 spoke about her challenging family dynamic. She says, I've always been super close to Sophia. I was very close to Sydney. And with Sophia, we talk all the time, and I tell her that I love her all the time, she said. Unfortunately, Sydney's on Simon's side. She doesn't really speak to any of us. It's difficult. It's like your child's passed away, but they're still alive. As TAMRA anticipates a reunion with Sydney, she is thrilled for Sophia to get back in front of Bravo cameras following an extended hiatus from filming. It probably scared the mess out of me more than anything because Sophia is so amazing. And I thought, oh gosh, she wanted to be on the show the whole time, but her dad would not sign, she tells the virtual reality team. When she started filming, I noticed she ain't acting like she normally acting. So I noticed that she's very nervous about filming, TAMRA recalls. So you'll see a difference from Sophia in the beginning and Sophia toward the end of the season. She opened up, she relaxed, and she had a much better time. And I'm just happy for that. We all know that TAMRA did have a very contentious relationship towards the end, probably of their marriage, roughly with Simon's many years ago. The separation of the two and then the eventual divorce was very hard on the family dynamics as well as her children. That had been very much chronicled throughout the seasons and throughout the years of Real Housewives of Orange County. We did know that there was a lot of antics at play as well as just really sad situation of the demise of a family structure. But TAMRA was able to move on with Eddie, as we have seen, and she seems to have a really, really loving relationship with him. And I'm happy for her and happy for the fact that it seems like she is calmer now, that she's gotten to a place of just, living life with so much more joy within it. And you can kind of see that over the last couple of years with her return back to the show last season and I think so far now. So we'll see as time goes on, the levity that is brought from Tamra, but we'll see. But I am happy for her that, her daughter Sydney is starting to reach out to the other siblings. I think that is a good start, and only time will tell. And like she said, in God's timing, it's in God's hands. And I totally agree with that when it comes to all types of things in the world and with our relationships as well. So, of course, I would love to know your thoughts about all four of these sharings. What do you think about the facelift lawsuit? Do you think it was a gift? Do you think it was a loan? How do you feel about Shannon's decision to really kind of hold off on dating right now? She's not giving up on love, but dating is not something she's at all interested in doing. What do you think about Tamra and Alexis's new budding relationship? Do you think it's going to last? I'm wondering on that one, but we'll keep on hope alive on that. And also, what do you think about Tamara's high hopes for the reconciliation probability with her and Sydney? I do hope that does play out for her in whatever way that it's supposed to be. So I think that'll probably do it for this video and for these sharings. Definitely leave your respectful comments down in the comment section below. I would love to know your thoughts about all of these things here. And of course, at this point, I do hope that you have a great rest of your day or evening or whatever time that you're watching this video. Take care as I bid you would do. I do believe I may have one more sharing popping up today, so definitely make sure you have your notification bells on. And if you are new to the channel and you hadn't subscribed yet, I hope that you will and become part of the family. I would so love to have you here. And if you appreciated the sharing, please remember to give this video a like on your way out. And until next time, take care. Bye. Na na na